guys, how you doing? I'm doing well.
What about the women?
Hey,
Why is it just the guys?
non-gender.
Hey, I'm here.
Catch-all phrase. How you doing?
Hey them. How are you?
Oh, good. Hello, peoples.
All the peoples.
In all the places it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kyle.
My name is Chase.
I'm Cheyenne. Hi. Why are you questioning your name?
My name is Darth Tyrannus
No.
69420XX.
No, you already messed it up. You don't know your name.
What is going on? All right, and this is the ZymCast, episode 413
Woohoo!
or 31.
One of the two.
It's one of those two numbers.
Yep, up to you to figure it out.
I think it's up for you to decide.
I
I don't think that's how it works.
I think that's 100% how it
I
works.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Look, if
disagree
I
with you there.
believe and my heart is true, the magical things can happen to me, okay?
Yeah. Just tell us in the comments, what episode number do you think this should be?
69.
420.
Surprised Chase didn't laugh at that.
It's because he didn't make the joke.
No, yeah, it's because that's the original joke I was gonna make, but then I didn't think it was funny, so then I did.
Nailed it.
That's totally your wheelhouse of jokes.
Yeah, my one joke that has to do with numbers.
Math jokes.
Hey.
69.
You're a cutie. 3.14159265.
I hate you.
I hate everyone.
I just 69. See, I know. Haha. Font of much joy. My touchstone for 69
Is a square root of 4,761.
See, people at home will
Did you
think
look
you're
that
just
up?
smart and impressive, but he just used his calculator
Oh,
on his
that's
computer.
what I thought he did. I was like, Chase isn't that good at math.
No, he's not.
40 square root of 4761. Nice.
Nice. No, my touchstone for the classic 69 gag, I think the first time I ever heard it was watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where they meet them from the future. And they're like, if you're really us, what number are we thinking of right now? It's like, 69, dude. Whoa!
Dumb.
It is. It's a very dumb movie. And I love it for just that reason.
Well, I can't agree because I haven't seen it.
I know.
Me neither.
I know. I feel like this has definitely come up. So, it's been a week. How has your week been, Chase? I'm sure it's been nothing but joy.
That's a lie. No,
Oh.
sorry, that's a fallacy. It's a falsity.
A felicity?
It's a Felicity Jones. Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie. Sorry.
Jeez. But in 2 days, we might be watching something even better, Star Wars related.
What's in 2 days?
Mandalorian.
Wait, what day is it? Oh my god! It's the
So
God!
we're
it comes
recording
out
on the
in 2
10th.
days.
We're recording on the 10th right now. This will be going live on the 13th.
Why do
Oh.
you think I keep telling you we need to make
Yeah,
a
you guys
decision?
need to make the choice about what
Like
subscription
today.
you're getting.
Oh, Jeebus! I didn't even realize it was that close.
Okay,
Yes.
you are having a problem with like dates
And
and when things
concept
are
of
coming.
time?
Yeah.
I don't know what time is. What is time?
It's a flat circle.
Flows backwards, right? Flows side to side.
Up, down, side to side
Yes.
instead of up, down, side to side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Mandalorian comes out in 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh.
The first episode, at least, I think. I think I read they're releasing 2 episodes at the start.
Oh.
Ooh.
Even better. Jesus is gonna hook.
Let me double check that
They're
before
gonna
I
hook,
just start
line,
claiming
sink
things.
me.
Fact check.
Fact check, talk while I'm looking.
But yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that's gonna be there that I'm also gonna be watching.
Like
I forget.
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah, the past stuff definitely. Clone Wars, duh, more Star Wars related.
Clone Wars. The thing you've
And
been
then
waiting
Rebels.
for more than a year.
Yeah, true.
For a long time. It's been
Yeah.
a long time.
It has.
Okay, never mind. I was totally wrong.
Damn you, Kyle.
That's what I do. All right, so here's our release schedule. The first episode premieres on November 12th, along with Disney Plus itself. Yeah. After that, fans can be able to watch episode 2 the following Friday, the 22nd.
What?
Ouch.
And then
It's 10 days. That's not 7 days. It's 10 days.
yeah,
It's gonna
but
be every Friday.
then it's going to be every Friday for the remaining 6 episodes until the season 1 finale on the 27th of
What?
December.
It's 7 episodes.
It's 8 episodes. Do
8
math.
Oh,
Yeah. Math. Chase, you got a
hey, I
calculator on there?
got a square of 4761. That's from memory now.
He's never gonna let that
I'm gonna
go,
remember that
or
number.
he'll forget that in an hour.
I probably will.
Less than an hour.
We'll have to test him.
By the end of this podcast.
That, you think this podcast is gonna be less than an hour long?
4761.
We'll
Okay.
see.
This podcast now needs to be 47. It has to be 48 minutes and 1 second, because that would be like 47 minutes and 61 seconds.
We'll see.
Oh, math.
It's barely math.
I hate us.
No, my week was not
No,
good.
it doesn't everyone else.
My week was
Hell.
No, I mean the beginning. No, I have no recollection of anything in the beginning of
I'm
that
not
week.
surprised.
I worry
until
about this guy.
About
I do too.
Today at 4:00. I'm kidding.
You got off work.
Exactly. No, I got it at 4:30. Okay, I remember the last 30 minutes of my shift. What day was it? I think
You
it was
don't even remember what day this
Friday.
happened?
It was Friday.
Tell me what you're talking.
No, it
give me
was
a hint.
Thursday that I
The-
realized.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Thursday.
Gotcha.
I looked at my phone for some reason. I don't remember what it was. And I searched Xbox Elite Series 2 controller because I was trying to figure out when it came out. I figured because like most things that have been releasing this month are going to be released like in the middle of the month, like the 12th or further on. So I thought it was like that week, this next week coming up. I was like, oh, I'll put an order in right now because I had yet to pre-order the controller, which I knew I wanted. So I look at
Dingus.
it. Oh no, it was the 7th that I looked, and this was the 7th was Thursday. I was right.
Thursday. Yeah.
So I look and I was like, wait till I can purchase it. And I was like, wait. And I look and it came out on the 4th. It came out that Monday. Last Monday, the controller was available for purchase. And I was like, oh shit, I missed it. Okay,
Oh.
let's go buy it now. So then I was like, did I get off like
Wait. So you saw on the 7th
Yeah.
that you could already purchase it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you order it that day instead of looking on Friday?
No, because I can't remember. Did I work on Thursday?
I'm assuming so, judging by you didn't look for it until Friday.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you worked on Friday. Why didn't you order it online to pick up in store?
Because I
This makes me feel like you're dumber than I thought before, honey.
no. Well, yes, but no. Did I? What day was I with you on Friday? Right?
When we went looking for it?
Yeah.
that was Friday. You did work, but I was off after you. So we went looking after 6:30.
Oh,
when
I know
was
why.
off.
No, I know why. Because I looked on Thursday, the 7th at like almost midnight. I was like going to sleep, and so I look, and I knew that I got off early for like the first time like in a long time. I was opening 9 to 4:30. I'm like, oh, I got off 4:30. I can go to a store and pick it up.
Mhm.
So I didn't order it. I saw like, oh, it's available. I'll go pick it up.
Mhm.
And so I go through my shift. I look where it's available. Or no, I get off my shift. I'm like, okay, I'll go pick it up on the way home. I look on I go to Target. The Target that's like near my work, and I go through. I'm like, because they sell Xbox stuff. So I'm like, oh, there's nothing here, and like there's nothing marked on the shelves. Okay. It's been out for a few days. I was like, maybe they just didn't get it in stock, and because they have it on the website, and I was like, so then they generally probably have it in stock. Didn't have it. I look it up through the Target's website, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't have it at any store, like near your area. I was like, that's weird. I go to Best Buy website. It's out of stock in like all these areas. I'm like, okay. I go to GameStop's website, and they're like, there's one available at one store that's like 5 miles away. And like it was like on the kind of on my way to back to my house, but out of the way. But just in that general direction. So I'm like, I'll go stop by there. I'll call on the way there so he can hold it for me. I call like 3 times. They don't answer. I get in. There's a line. I wait in the line to talk to the one person working. I get there. I'm like, hey, so do you have the Xbox Elite controller Series 2? And he's like, ooh, we have one more left, and I'm holding it for somebody until Sunday. And I was like, you bitch. And I left. And then I was like, I'm pissed now. So then Cheyenne was still at work, and I was texting her. I'm like, I can't find this anywhere. I'm pissed. I'm getting pissed off because I went out of my way to go to the store, and they had it, but they couldn't give it to me. And so I was like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, oh, do you want to look for it? I'm like, oh, you would do that for me or with me? I'm like, great, awesome, because I don't want to waste my time. If not, like, I don't want to waste her time. So then the closest one was like in LA, at an actual Microsoft store. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because it's a Microsoft store. It's their own product. Great. I called ahead. This was like an hour or like less than an hour before she got off. And I'm like, oh, we'll go after she gets off. I call. They're like, oh, yeah, we have it in stock. I was like, okay, like you have more than one? And they're like, yeah, we have enough for walk-in purchases. And I was like, cool. I'll be there. I'm on my way. And so then we go and we get there. Like at this point, it's probably been like 2 hours now since I called. And I'm like, hey, I look at the shelves, like there's nothing there. I was like, okay. But they said they have it. I go to the one of the reps and I'm like, hey, I called ahead. They said you had these. Can I have it? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they sent someone to look for it. They looked by it like on the sales rack, couldn't find it. They're like, it's probably in the back. They look in the back for like 10 minutes. Come back out and they're like, so looks like we have one more in stock based on what it says, but she's having trouble finding it. We'll just keep looking. Like 5 minutes later, come back out. Yeah, we're out of stock. I was like, what the fuck do you mean you're out of stock? I was like pissed at that point. Very, very upset.
Yeah. He was very upset and slightly like taking it out on me.
I was not taking it on me.
Yeah, you're mean to me.
I was just grumpy.
Yeah. Towards me.
I was not towards you.
Thanks.
Wow, how
I'm
rude,
sorry.
Chase.
Okay.
I upset. We drove like an hour to go pick this up after having called ahead and they said they had enough in stock, like more than one. And like when I got there, they're like, oh yeah, they were like there was a stack of them over there, and now they're gone. And I was like, really? Is that how it works?
So helpful.
Yeah. I was like,
so.
Yeah. But then we get back.
Oh.
No, actually, no. We on the way back home, we see another mall with a Best Buy and a Target, and I had read like looking at the areas that like or the stores that had them. We were already like out of the way, further away from our area, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I had seen this mall that we were passing on the freeway had one in store in one of the three stores. I don't know if it was GameStop, Target, or Best Buy. The mall had all three, and it was like 9, 10. Most of those stores closed at 9. And so the only thing open was Target there, but Cheyenne needed to go to Target anyway. I'm like, okay, we'll stop here. We'll look to see if they have it. The Best Buy was closed. The GameStop was closed. We go to the Target. They don't have it. I'm like, fuck.
Okay.
That was worth a shot, I guess. And then after like we do other Target shopping, we go back. We get back home. And I'm looking online what places in this area, because like there was a place, I think there was a Best Buy.
Tustin.
Tustin?
Tustin.
Jesus Christ.
Tustin that had it. Yeah. They're the only one that still had a good amount.
Yeah, and yeah, and there was like through Best Buy there was also like in Compton.
Oh, that was Best Buy.
Oh.
Was the Tustin one.
Okay.
And Compton. You're right. I found that out today. But that's
I knew that yesterday, but I didn't want to have you drive all the way because I worked today. And I wanted to have it so like I could use it or like use it. Actually, this was yesterday because today's Sunday.
It is.
Yeah, but this was 2 days ago, and then I was gonna have Cheyenne, because I saw that it was available from a closer store, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna purchase this and have her pick it up tomorrow while I'm at work. Because I worked in the middle of the day, and and by the time I got off, it would have been closed. So I order it. They said they have it in stock. And I mean, granted, I was looking like through Walmart. Walmart specifically said, we'll hold it for you for 7 days. But when I bought it through Best Buy, there was like nothing, no wording like that. Yeah. And I was like, I swear to God, I hope that like I'm purchasing it. They should fucking hold it if they have it in stock. They open at 10 o'clock and they said they'll send me an email because I purchased it. I'm like, okay, I'll put it on hold. They'll send me an email when it's ready to be picked up. I woke up at 10:30 or something. Cheyenne was like texting me like, hey, did they send you an email like around 10? Yeah. I'm like, no. And then like at 11, I checked I checked the original email they sent me and it says view order status. I press that. I go to the website. I never got an email after that. It said out of stock. And I was like, on my order. I was like, what the fuck do you mean out of stock? I purchased this yesterday. You said you had it in stock and now it's out of stock. I'm like, did you sell it to someone on floor? Did you lose it? Did you not have it in stock at all?
So you have now paid for a controller you do not have and will not get anytime soon?
I was mad. And I was like, okay, so I fucking canceled that order.
Uh-huh.
And the annoying thing about like and the other reason why I wanted to go and pick it up in person rather than getting it shipped to me was because at least from Amazon, I think one of my first things was Amazon because I have Prime, and generally on more expensive you can get it in one day as well. They didn't have it in stock. It said it would ship to 1 to 4 weeks, but then when I put it in my card, it said like expected November 23rd, and I was like, "Fuck you! It is the 10th. It was the 9th at this point." Or I was like, "No way, am I waiting that long?" And then the rest of them said like the 14th, or like take like a week, and I'm like, "What? Like what is happening here?"
Almost like it's a highly in demand product that you didn't order when you should have because you knew this was coming 4 months, Chase.
Yeah. So I have something to add to this.
Okay.
Chase.
Yes.
So as soon as he left E3, like the day of E3, Chase was like, I need this controller. I am pre-ordering it. Did he pre-order it?
No.
So this is a lessons learned.
Oh.
Pre-order the controller you already knew you wanted. I thought he pre-ordered it.
That would make sense. I assumed he
would've-
probably did.
Yeah, because when I think we talked about it last week, he was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely getting it." I thought he pre-ordered it.
No.
Had I known he did it, I would have been like,
I hadn't.
"Pre-order your controller, Chase. You knew you wanted this controller."
Yeah, so it's not in stock anywhere, and I'm not gonna be able to get it.
No,
for a
you're
little while.
not.
I just canceled the order.
Just order it off the freaking Microsoft store.
Yeah.
That okay. If I ordered through Microsoft Store, it said December 23rd.
Oh wow.
I was like, "There's no way."
Just get it from one of the places that'll take a week then, Chase.
Yeah.
I know, but
Stop being so.
It's a
I was
fucking
like,
week.
You're fine.
But at the same time,
You
I was
don't
like,
need the controller right now.
this, like, this might be a sign I'm just not gonna buy it.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. And because he was so upset about this controller, and I just happened to be going to these stores that might have the controller, so I went looking. None of them ever had any tags or anything for this controller so I was at Best Buy earlier today, and I just went up to the desk and was like, "Hey, do you know when you're going to get these back in stock?" And they're like, "Oh, we're not slated to ever get this back in stock. You can order it online, but we're not expected to have it in stores anytime soon." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, so their typical date for you getting it is the 22nd, unless you expedite it and then you get it on the 12th through Best Buy. But yeah, they're like, "Oh, hey, we have 2 in Compton
that are damaged, right?
Yeah, so I was like, "Okay, I'll be nice. I'll wait for you guys to call." And it took like a good 15 minutes. And they searched and searched. And I think they tested the controllers. That's why it was taking so long. And they're like, so sorry. These are damaged. You could still like try it out if you want. But they're like, there's visible damage on the controllers. And I was like, man, never mind. I'm done. I tried so hard to also try to find the stupid controller for you because you were so upset. And I was like, why is he so upset about this controller? He should have just pre-ordered. You kind of deserve this in the future. You know you want something.
Yeah.
Badly.
Yeah.
You've been talking about this for months.
Oh, man.
You should have forethought to just do something when you know you should do it ahead of time. But hey, on the bright side, you were telling me it was either this controller or Jedi Fallen Order.
So you're saying I should get Jedi Fallen Order now?
But you clearly don't seem to be getting the controller.
Yeah. I mean, is this controller that important?
Yeah.
It is.
It was super annoying too because like I wanted to get because like all these places actually I think ordered or offered like a warranty. For like 2 or 3 years, depending, or 2 to 4 years, depending on the brand. And I was like, yes, in case I drop this fucking thing, or like something. It was like almost a $200 controller. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Not that much. Like
it's $180.
Yeah,
with tax. With the tax, it's $219 or something.
Oh, at Best Buy, it was gonna be $198.
Ah, well, It was actually at Best Buy. It was $238
Oh,
because their
with
fucking
the-
warranty was
yeah, yeah.
$40 when
Yeah.
everyone else's was like $10 to
Or
$20.
20.
Gotta love Best Buy.
I was
Yeah.
like, and Best Buy's only 2 years. That was
Yeah.
the lowest like the lowest amount of time and the
Mhm.
highest price. I'm like,
Yeah.
Sounds
and then
like
I
Best Buy.
fucking pay for it anyway when I was like, it's the only place, and they didn't have it. I'm like, fuck you, Best Buy.
Oh, I just remembered another lesson for you
No,
for the future.
no.
When you call and they say, "Oh, hey, yeah, we have these
Ah.
on the floor," but everywhere else that you called
Doesn't.
doesn't have it, tell them, "Hey, please hold this for me."
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't.
Well, it's because the tone she had with me was just like she was not gonna help me.
Well,
Like, she
then
didn't
don't
care.
trust her.
Yeah, and be like, "Please hold a
Because
controller."
she's like, oh yeah, we have enough.
"Oh,
and I was
yeah."
like,
Even just saying that though. is
Yeah, no, I wouldn't trust
Okay.
that either. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, can you hold one for me?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we have so many. Like, ma'am, what's your name? Like, I don't want to be this guy, but ma'am, what's your name? Okay, so I will be there very soon. If there is not a multitude of controllers here,
Yeah.
I just want you to know I have your name.
See, the other thing was that kind of like deterred me from doing that too, is because it seemed that she did not work for the store.
What?
Like the call didn't go directly to the store. It went to
Oh.
like a representative that then looked through the inventory of the store.
Okay, well then
Still.
she should have connected to the store
Yeah.
and put one on hold.
I feel like for something that you cared about so much,
This
you
much.
needed to put more work into this.
Yeah, you did this like minimal amount of effort possible. Look,
Also, Microsoft has crappy people who work for them because when we walked into
Oh, yeah.
the store, there was a girl at a table. Totally thought she was just a customer because she's leaned over the table on her phone, like just all casually
I knew she worked there
splayed.
because she had an Xbox shirt.
Yeah,
But-
so I didn't see that. I just saw that this girl was splayed over a table,
Yeah.
just casually like on her phone. And then we come back to someone who's supposed to help us, and she was supposed to be the one to look for. And I was like, "Oh, you work here? You don't
Yeah.
look like you work
Yeah, because I
here."
was looking around for like a register or something, like just to go up someone, but there's no registers there. So I was like
Okay.
looking around, and I was like, and then like these people were like, or like the some of the employees were helping other people or like talking to other people, and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't want to talk to them. So I go back around. I'm like, okay, I see this one woman. I'll ask her, and I ask her, and then she goes over and talks. Yeah, she asked the person that we originally saw on her phone, and we're like, okay. And she's like, yeah, do you want to help them buy a Series 2 controller? She's like, okay.
Yeah, like we're
I just don't get that.
inconveniencing her.
I was like,
Like you're
yeah,
at work right now.
uh-huh.
Can I
So-
do that while at work, please?
right? Doesn't that sound nice?
No.
Yeah.
Just not giving a shit.
Right?
Ooh, I would not stand for that.
I know it's annoying.
Nor should you.
You
Nor
should.
would I.
I mean, as an employer, obviously I stood for it as,
Yeah.
as a customer. But
I did it. If I could write a review, I'd be like,
you can.
"This is terrible."
Literally
you know what?
can do
I
that.
should. I'm too lazy.
What
for that
about that guy
crap.
Carlos Jr. That was really nice? You're gonna
Oh, you're right.
write that review for that?
I need to find that receipt. Hopefully, his name is there because we.
He was the only
after-
person working there.
Okay. No way he's the only
It
person.
was the
working
same
there.
day. It was after that we went because we hadn't eaten that day. We got Carlos Jr. This guy was super helpful.
I know he was like super
He
helpful
was the, like,
on top of his
and-
stuff. Super nice.
He was not the antithesis. What's fucking the
How
opposite
hard
of
is
the
it, though,
girl.
to do that?
I don't know. It's just like naturally nice, not fake nice.
Yeah, he was
I don't
like-
know.
he
It's
was-
just he went above and beyond, and I was like, what? I took
Exceeds
notice. I
expectations.
don't know. But still, yeah, lesson learned. For the future, for Chase and all other people who know they want something and know it's going to be popular, pre-order
Yeah.
that crap and work a little harder.
Yeah. So you know
Take steps.
the funny thing. Yeah, kind of the funny thing. One of the, or at least with Borderlands, because I played Borderlands 3 with this controller.
Everyone knows.
Everyone who
We
listened to that
talked about this
episode.
so
Not everyone listens to all our
much.
episodes. Rabble,
Okay.
rabble.
Whoa.
Okay.
I played it with the Series 2 controller, and it was really great, which is why I liked it. And after playing with that controller, I knew I wanted to buy it. And then I had also was really hopeful for Outer Worlds. And I was like, ooh, I want to play Outer Worlds with this controller. But Outer Worlds came out before that. I've been playing it with a regular Xbox controller. But because I worked yesterday, and then Cheyenne was going to do something with her friend after that. So I knew I wasn't going to see her. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go home. And like, because she was going to go pick it up and then bring it to me at work so that I had it for later. She didn't drop it off.
Hey, I'm a good little porter.
Hey.
The Death Stranding reference.
I think so.
Yeah. And so I was gonna like, I can play Outer Worlds finally with the controller when I get home, because I just like I have nothing to do for the rest of the night. I'll play video games, maybe like Jump Force or to get good so I can beat my
Sure.
friend. That's really good.
Let him have this game,
Yeah, I
man.
know. Or Outer Worlds. But then, like when I woke up that morning and saw that it wasn't available, I was like, okay, screw it. And then I ended up getting off work. I didn't play a single video game.
What did you do last night?
Yeah, what'd you
Instead,
do? You sit
I
by your
caught up-
lonesome and be sad.
no,
He just sat in his room with the lights off and just cried.
because the previous day I had just realized that Sword Art Online Season 4 came out,
Oh.
and it was already a few
Yeah.
episodes in, which I didn't realize.
Mm-hmm.
It was Alicization, War of the Underworld, Season 4 of Sword Art Online. So then I watched
Can't
the first
mess that up.
episode, and I still had 3 to catch up on, which actually, it just so happened that, because this was yesterday, Saturday, was the day of the new episode, because they premiere on Saturdays, and I was like, oh, hey, it's another episode. So I watched 3 episodes of that. Fucking what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sword Art Online was one of my top anime
Uh-huh.
for reasons.
Can't relate.
Mhm.
First half of season 1.
Yeah. First half of season
Great.
1 is great, and
It's
that's
a lot
like
of fun.
that's where
Second half got
that's where my
weird.
heart lies. Okay, I'll make that clear.
You're holding on hope for a show that you haven't really been in love with since the first half of its first season. You're watching season 4.
I am obliged to watch this show because
No,
I was
you're
so
not.
invested.
Oh my god, is this literally just the sunk cost fallacy
Yes.
in action? Stop.
No, I
Respect your time. Are you enjoying the show?
It's entertaining.
That's not a yes.
So I like this arc. No, not even this arc, because it's a new arc now.
It's just in the same.
It's in the same world of as season 3, which was Alicization, which was its own like 4th arc, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the first season was like 2 arcs. Maybe the second season was also 2 arcs. I don't remember.
No, wasn't the second season just Gun Gale? Or was there
Yeah,
another
I
game
mean,
they
it could have
played?
been 2 different story arcs. within
I
the same
don't
game.
know.
I don't remember.
No, Gun Gale was one story arc.
Mhm.
That was the last thing I watched.
Yeah. And then this new arc came up, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, I guess. But I'm like, it kind of brings it more to that fantasy, back to that similar feeling as the first half of the first season, which is why
That was
I kinda
clearly
like-
the intention.
yeah. And I was like, okay, I can get behind this a little bit and watch it. But then towards the end, I'm like they're introducing a lot of stuff, and like they're like setting up a bigger thing. But then the season ended. I'm like, wait, this didn't happen though. It didn't like crescendo. Like something definitely crescendo, but like not what they're talking about. I'm confused. I thought it was like mid-season. I didn't realize how many episodes it was. I was like, oh, maybe it's a mid-season pause. And then a few days ago, it started up again, and it said like episode 1, and I was like, because it's now titled Alicization War of Underworld. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm confused. And then it starts a new episode and like starts introducing like, or the opening. You can always tell like new arcs from the openings.
Yep.
And I was like, this is a bunch of people I have no idea who they are in this same world. And they start introducing like more stuff in this episode. I'm like, is this a new arc? Is this a whole new? And I just today I realized, oh shit, we have a whole season and against it, like with this fucking story. Why? Well, I mean, not necessarily why, because I'm like, it's enjoyable kind of. But I'm listening to the dialogue and the story, and I'm like,
Promising.
this is nonsense. A lot of what they're saying, I'm like, I don't understand. And that's where I am with Sword Art Online. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. If it's enjoyable, kind of.
It's
You're
enjoyable.
Still
It's just
watching.
like
Just
when
kind of.
okay, no, my issue with this specific not this arc, this world, and what they do, because the previous season as well, Alicization. Basically, spoilers for third season of, not even spoilers. It's just like how it enters the season is it's basically this new technology that allows you to like dive into virtual world, which is hella sort of online.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the NPCs are artificial intelligences that have their own souls, and like the way you connect into this is like your fluctlight, which is like your soul that's like being
Sounds dirty.
transferred. Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Whenever they explain anything or like try to
I'm
make
just talking
sense
about
of
the
anything,
fuck light thing.
yeah, no, but whenever they try to make sense of anything in this world, like how it makes sense, it makes no fucking sense, and they go like. It's like totally fucking arbitrary. They pull something out of left field and they're like, oh yeah, this is explained because of this science thing. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I don't care about this science shit because it doesn't make sense. Stop trying to make it make sense. Just give me story.
So what it sounds like
Okay.
is that this is a soft magic system, but somehow the soft magic is science.
Yeah, it's very scientific.
Science is how we do it.
Of how like your soul is transferred into this like server and you're interacting with these artificial intelligence, and basically like the whole thing around it is they're using these artificial souls and building them up from the like instead of doing like a top down AI of just like making AI like and you telling it like what it knows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it from bottom up, so you basically birth these AI and then they grow up in like this expedited world that like they then mature as like humans do, and with like and they have you give them like a kind of basic rule set and then they kind of go based on those rule sets like humans do with like laws and stuff. And so it's like they want to make the perfect AI to like in the end it's like it's all military and they want to use it for like
of
bad
course
stuff. Yeah, but
okay, whoa. Time out.
yeah.
I was just gonna let that go. It's for the military?
Yeah.
Why would you go through all this effort instead of just, I guess, training and building an AI to specifically do exactly what you're trying to do?
Because they want
No, I don't care what reason
Yeah,
they gave me. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's like this like research into it and stuff, bullshit stuff. But then, yeah, it's
So like, are all the AI in this world like trained to kill?
no. That's the thing. Like, none of them can kill,
What the fuck?
and they want it, but they want it to kill of its own free will, or something like that, which is like even worse.
That's
when you
really
think about
fucked
it.
up.
Yeah,
So you're trying to create something that wants to kill things.
yeah,
What
Kinda.
the shit?
kind of. I don't.
Okay,
I
okay.
Don't
We're
really.
just no. Just no.
Stop watching the show.
No,
Please, for all of our sakes.
the actual story behind, like the story is entertaining. It's just like when that stuff is brought into it, I'm like, why?
Okay,
Why?
here's a question I have to ask. Because I know a little bit about this, but not much for Alicization. So, all I know, and I know very little, is, okay, so I know obviously Kirito's back, being his badass self, doing his badass stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
Not
there's
in
like
the
another
not in the
dude.
fourth season, but in the third season, yes.
Oh, he's not in the fourth season?
No, he is, but it's complicated. But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's like another dude who's like one of the NPCs who's like
Yes,
also like the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
co-lead or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. But they were childhood friends or something?
Exactly, because it's from the bottom up, and so
No, I don't care if the NPC was a child. Why was Kirito a child?
it's because Kirito was
Because he's a real boy. He's a real fucking human
because he
being.
dove into this world. But when you dive into the world, your memories are wiped.
What the fuck?
Kind of like your actual memories are blocked. They're hindered, right? So then you're brought in as a child and you grow up in this world alongside the AI, but you have no recollection of your actual life, so you think this is real life.
What? That sounds really dangerous.
Low-key, yeah. I
And
mean,
like-
not for the person that's inside, because I'm like, they're inside and there's being monitored.
No.
And if it's like
I'm talking like mentally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are probably definitely mental repercussions from all of this.
What the fuck? Okay, that's stupid. But
Yeah.
here's my counter argument to this. Okay, how much of the story honestly depends on Kirito being Kirito? Like a dude from outside the game interacting in the game. Or could this have just been an entirely different story that someone's like, let me just shove this dude into it?
No. So technically, he goes into this world twice. The first time he does go in, and his mind is like blank.
Yeah.
And the second time he goes in for different reasons, which would be spoilery.
but
his,
with all of his consciousness
Yeah,
in
he
for
has,
him
like,
to do
he
a
has-
mission and stuff.
he has his memories, but he doesn't understand why. And like and then that story like is dependent on his outside influence, kind of. Yeah.
How much? Because could this whole story just?
I mean,
be...
it feels sort of online in the fact that it is that virtual, like going into that virtual
Yeah.
world, which is like its whole spiel.
Yes.
But
I guess my question. Okay, here's my thing. And again, I haven't seen this, and I don't know all the details of it. But I like almost it being Sword Art Online makes me less likely to want to watch this.
Yeah.
I feel like this if we're an entirely different thing.
Oh, I mean, okay, so
So you got a couple NPCs, one of which who just like breaks the programming, like breaks out of his programming completely.
kinda, yeah.
I feel like that would be more interesting
Okay, so
than just a
no,
normal.
I would say actually the third season, Alicization itself,
Mm-hmm.
is pretty interesting, especially like if you didn't like where Sword Art Online went, with
Okay.
especially with Gun Gale or with Alfheim Online. If you like just going in the third season,
I'd heard it was like a return to form.
yeah, I mean, I think like it's enjoyable for the story and that kind of that mental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just there's some issues I have with like how they try to explain things, but like in the end you can overlook that because I do, but
Don't they like kill God or something?
kind of.
Gotta kill God. It's not an anime if you don't kill God.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is interesting. Like you can go in knowing next to nothing about what happened before,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd probably be fine in this season. In the fourth season, it seems like it's more dependent on outside stuff besides Kirito. But
Okay.
yeah, so I like you would probably be able to go in and like enjoy a different story.
Look, I'm not saying I dislike Sword Art Online. I actually didn't
you
hate.
always said you dislike Sword Art
Look.
Online.
Honest truth here. There hasn't been a single part of Sword Art Online I've hated.
Okay.
It's just like, look,
There was a part I hated.
that's fine. But was it things related to stuff in the second half of the first season,
Yes.
specifically like a situation one character might have been in?
Wait, what?
Never mind. Just all of that second half of that first season was
Just the-
terrible.
yeah.
But like,
She didn't see the second season, so yeah.
but like,
Yeah, I didn't see the
God,
second
they're
season.
they're just Asuna's whole story arc in that
Yeah.
was just like the worst.
Oh, yes. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that
Oh, she
I
didn't
hated
like-
that so much.
She didn't like their relationship in the first half either.
Continue.
It's still preferable to also your sister, who is also your cousin, being
That's yeah.
Regardless, Look, it's just I think part of it is just me like not like the show just lost its hooks on me and stuff,
Mhm.
and then the other half is like it's this weird dichotomy where that show is so fucking popular
Mhm.
that it annoys me because there are so many anime that are so much better at everything that show does
Mhm.
that are way less popular.
Yeah, you're right. You're true. I mean, you're true. You're right.
I am true.
Like Log Horizon, like with the popularity it got, is kind of for that reason. Like it did better what Sword Art Online was trying to do in more depth.
Well, okay, my argument though is like Log Horizon isn't what Sword Art Online was trying to do. Sword Art Online didn't really give a shit about the video gaminess
guess,
of it.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just really just wanted cool action and like, oh, this is my little like Marty Stew protagonist who goes around and just murders everything because he's awesome. And he's playing a game where if you die for real, but then he dies, but he's fine. What? It's like he ran out of HP, but he really wants to win, guys, so he can still fight. Like that's not how that works
yeah.
in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But fine, whatever. And then, but like Log Horizon is a game about what would it be like if a bunch of people were just in a video game, like, and you take that all the way down.
Yeah.
And then what happens if these NPCs start kind of gaining sentience and like breaking out of their programming and it's just, but that show is so fascinating because it is legitimately just about like the economics
Yeah.
and like design philosophy of like MMOs and how like the characters like break it and interact with this world
Yeah. It's so good.
and all of the political shit. And you're like, this shouldn't be interesting, but it's consistently fascinating.
Yeah.
That's such a good show.
Yeah.
And you just have a main character who's like, his whole spiel is like, yeah, he's incredibly intelligent and stuff, but like his character is dependent on other characters for
Yeah.
fighting.
He cannot solo.
He can't fight by himself at all. He's support and like traps and shit. And like I always thought that was super fascinating too. Because like, yeah, he's our character, but he never feels broken. Because you get into a fight, he's worthless by himself.
Yeah.
He's great, but he's worthless by himself. And so that's why the whole party and like the guild as it builds up and all these characters, it's so good.
Yeah. You know the funny thing?
Yeah.
After watching this, like what's currently out of season 4 of Sword Art Online, I I got up out of my seat. I think at this point I about to go to bed. I look up and at my window I saw
A hag.
no wait shut up which I haven't really paid attention to in a while. So I look up at my window and I see my SAO banner that I have up there that I totally forgot was there because I never paid attention to it. And it's above my bed.
How do you not notice that?
And
There are things that you just lose track of in your room because they're always there.
Yeah.
It becomes part of the furniture, part of the
Yeah,
scenery.
like my Gamora or
That thing is weird.
or what's her name from Doctor Who?
It's not
Which
from
one?
Doctor Who.
What?
Amy Pond.
No.
Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
Gillan? Yeah.
Gillen?
No, but it's
From Jumanji.
yeah, her
Oh,
from
okay.
Jumanji. And it's
Yeah.
weird.
It's not weird.
Your brother
yeah,
thinks it's
I looked
weird.
up at the banner and I was like, oh yeah, that's what SA used to be.
It's come a
For the
ways.
That's where it
first
started.
half of the
First season.
Yeah.
Then it gets weird. The second half, there's like random teenage love crap that was not necessary.
That's your problem?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a problem.
That's my problem.
Not
it's
the
unnecessary and the little
Terrible game
child.
design and awful world building and
don't give a crap.
all the subplots are stupid.
Oh yeah, that too. There's a whole bunch of stuff where I was watching it and I'm like, why am I watching this? This has nothing to do with like
Anything?
anything, and then nothing gets picked up later.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was wasting my time.
Yeah.
Just
That's fair.
so
I
upsetting.
don't know.
But that's the game they keep going back to play again and again between all the arcs.
Yeah, well, cause it's the most cause using the fuck is it called? God damn it!
I don't care.
The seed. It's using the seed.
Yeah.
Akihiko Kaiba's seed. Of the original Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the original game, but it's just like in a different.
But like,
rule set.
don't they keep like? It's just like I don't know.
Because they have like a clubhouse.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
get
thing.
that.
And they go back. That's like where they hang out.
See, like,
Unless it's real life.
arguably, I'd be more interested in that.
I think they have.
I know they have
Oh.
some parts of it, but like,
Yeah.
I'd be more interested in just a group of friends hanging out and playing a game than the weird ass shit they do anymore in the show,
Yeah.
where the stakes are always impossibly high.
Oh no,
despite-
the stakes are impossibly high in season 3.
Yeah.
No, sorry, season 4, because it's towards the end of season 3 that it gets like.
But like, that's my thing though. It's so dumb. It's a game. That's okay.
Well, I mean, in
Because
season-
here's my argument. Here's my
season-
argument.
It's real life stuff, but yeah.
Sure, I'm sure. But here's my argument here. Is that the problem with Sword Art Online is all of its stakes in the first half of the first season were built around the fact that if you died in the game, you died in real life.
Mhm.
And so once that wasn't a thing anymore,
Yeah.
they didn't know how to keep the stakes high. And they never felt high. They always felt stupid. So you had to have like Asuna in mortal peril.
Yeah, you need to get out of the game.
But like the problem is when you tell a story where the stakes are not life or death,
Mhm.
you have to make the stakes important to the character. And you have to care about the character, and that's when the stakes become real.
Yeah.
This show can't do that.
I care about Kirito. And
Why?
Asuna.
What are his character traits that
Why?
you really like?
He's cool. He has 2 swords, except when he doesn't. He is every girl likes him for some reason. And that's about it. No, he's not the best like character.
He's literally just a vessel for rule of cool.
Yeah.
He's not a good character at all.
Oh, Chase, you used to have him, right?
On my lanyard?
Yeah,
I still no, yeah, I do.
you do.
Just not on my current keys. I'm and Asuna.
it's just like these the characters in the
These
show
are
are not very good.
No, the other characters are more interesting than the
Yes.
main characters. Oh my goodness.
Because they're able to give them like interesting like quirks and
Well, I
personalities.
mean,
and
okay,
stuff.
he's gone through some stuff, at least in the first season. He's gone through some stuff that, that put him over the edge, and he was like, he was brooding about it, and he was sad.
Uh-huh.
And like, he wanted to go solo because he didn't want to lose anyone else that meant anything to him.
Uh-huh.
And then it
and then it just stopped happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he met someone that he Yeah.
He wanted to bone.
Exactly.
Oh, I had friends that died because I couldn't save them.
So we
Oh,
need to
pretty
get
lady.
It was all my fault. Wait, hold on. Come to me. But the little girl with pink hair, I don't remember
Celia?
her name. I think she's like one of the first ones
Mhm.
that appeared.
Yeah.
She's great.
Mhm.
She's my favorite character.
She's okay.
Okay, I have a question
Yeah.
about Alicization.
Yeah.
It may not be true, but I'm
not.
curious. How did they get Yui into this game? No.
They don't.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
Oh wait, we totally skipped over the movie.
I never saw the movie.
Oh, it's good.
Me neither.
Is it?
It's okay.
Is it?
It's like on that okay. It's like in between okay and great. So yeah, we're good.
Okay. Look,
No, good.
look. If you like Sword Art Online, that's awesome. I don't ever like disliking things. But this show just annoys me.
Yeah.
It's not a bad show. I have seen bad anime. This is not a bad anime.
A bad at me.
It's just annoying because of the junction of quality to popularity.
Yeah. People have that issue with Attack on Titan too.
That is correct.
I think Attack. Well, okay.
I think Attack on Titan
There
is a
are
better show.
certain anime I do not understand. Like, literally though, I will watch it and I'll be invested in either the characters or the story or
Mhm.
something about it, and it's like generally can be a longer running one, like a
Mhm.
few seasons at least, maybe 2 seasons at least. And I start watching it. It's all good, and then it gets like kind of that latter half, and starts talking like there's a lot of dialogue that just goes over my head, and I don't know if it's like a culture thing or
What?
like I don't understand because like a lot of the story in Attack on Titan as well.
Mhm.
Like I follow a story, but then there's certain like just like conversations people have, and I'm like, would someone have this conversation in real life? I'm like,
Well, no,
this-
they're not well written.
and I'm like, I don't understand why this conversation would even take place, or like why you would respond like that, or why this will happen. I'm like,
You want to know why?
I'm confused.
It's a very simple explanation on why these conversations are happening and going the way they are. It's because the show needs to explain something to you.
I guess, but it's like not even all the time. Like it's not always explaining something. It's just more so like I don't even know. I can't explain it.
Since you have no actual specifics, I don't know how to talk about it.
I
'Cause
wouldn't be able to pull one up. Out
I'm
of
like,
my
Chase,
head.
you don't
Because they don't-
understand
I don't-
conversations, Chase? Are you dumb? No.
Exactly.
No. I don't know. Anime on the whole, not necessarily the best written like art form out
It
there.
depends. There are
Oh
there are
no,
really
I
good
said on
ones.
the whole.
Okay.
Like anime, it's like in a generalized sense. It's a lot of style, not necessarily over substance, but it does tend to prioritize style. And so a lot of times, like things will kind of go by the wayside in the pursuit of that.
I guess so. Yeah.
And you got to bear in mind, a lot of anime is based off of manga,
Yeah.
and manga have very tight time frames at which things need to get done. Having to churn out like a multi-page comic every week does not tend to give someone the
Yeah.
opportunity to really let a story breathe.
Yeah. I can see that.
And so a lot of times you just kind of get like, well, this is clunky, or well, this isn't very intelligently like explained, or like, well, that's just fucking weird. And commonly I tend to think it's probably like, that is that's writing under a real tight time frame. Kind of just going, I just got to get something, and it's got to make kind of sense. I can fix this later if I have time.
Yeah. Well, after I finished those episodes, I went back and one of my top anime of all time is Naruto.
Mhm.
Naruto Shippuden. but I hadn't started watching Boruto yet for a few reasons. One of the reasons was,
Why? You've already seen the story. Why watch more?
and that's the thing. Like,
This is a good opportunity to stop.
okay, that's the thing. I'm like, how similar is this to Naruto?
Great chance to stop.
How much like overlap is there or whatever? One of my issues is that I watched Naruto, the entirety of it dubbed, which was my bad, because I started it dubbed. My bad, because it took forever to get out dubbed.
Yeah, you should have just swapped over at some
That's the thing. I
point.
tried. I didn't like it because I had already watched so much dubbed. Because there was already like a good amount of it dubbed.
Yes.
Like all of Naruto. So I got through all
Mhm.
Naruto dubbed and then started Shippuden. I got to like half of it because that was what was out dubbed. And because I'd already, when I tried switching over, I'm like, okay, these voices are these characters for me. Anyone else talking as this character, I'm like, I don't understand. Like it doesn't quite.
You just got to get past that, man.
I tried.
Look, I'm sorry. Quick side note here. If I could watch fucking Dragon Ball Super in Japanese, you can watch fucking Naruto in Japanese, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z characters having the fucking voices they'd have.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's like? Looking at Goku
With
and
a,
just
with a
imagining
really
Sean
high-pitched voice.
Schimmel's voice and then looking at Goku and having a woman talking. It's like, well, that's weird. Real weird. Like, real weird.
yeah.
And I don't, you get past it. You move on.
Well, either way, I was like, screw it, because I was waiting to try to find the OVA in between the two shows dubbed. Didn't realize it was only 10 minutes. Because I kept saying 10-minute clips of it, but I was like, oh, it must be at least a full episode, if not longer, because it's an OVA. And I was like,
OVAs can be very short.
they can't also be very long.
That is true.
It's like I've just Sword Art Online is like a 2-hour OVA. But when I found it, I watched it dubbed, and I was like, because it was the day Naruto became Hokage, which is the OVA. And I was like, oh, is it 10 minutes of it? Okay, I could have watched that fucking anytime because it was there, dubbed, whatever. And then I started Boruto. And I started it dubbed, and I'm like, let's take this opportunity to do it subbed. So I watched it subbed. And I've watched maybe like two or three episodes subbed. That's not the issue. I'm fine. Now, I'm fine with it subbed. Just because these characters, like, there's new characters.
Yeah, it's a bunch of new characters.
The older characters, I'm like, it's fine at this point because they're older. And they're not the main stake now. But then I was watching the actual show, and I'm like, because it's a time jump, right?
Yeah, and it stars like they're kids.
Yeah, and now the city is more modern, and it has like modern things in it, and I'm like, I don't like this. I'm like, it doesn't have the charm of the Hidden Leaf Village anymore. It's like, and like ninjutsu is like almost not obsolete, but it's like they don't really care about ninja anymore because the world's at peace. And I'm like, this is boring. And I'm like, and like they introduce like different, not mechanics, but like different things that like in the world now. And I'm like, I don't think I like this anymore. So I don't think I will watch it. But it annoyed me almost.
Yeah, I get you. I've only seen one real chunk of Boruto, and I had no context for it whatsoever. But it was awesome. There is a fight where there's a bad guy, and I know nothing about this bad guy.
Yeah.
But it's this bad guy versus Naruto and Sasuke, and it's fucking awesome. But I also think it's like 90 episodes into the show.
I was like chimp through like, okay, where's some Naruto Sasuke stuff? Like where? Because I mean, like Naruto's there, but it's mostly about Boruto because it's his show. Next Generations, yeah. But then like, and they really obviously harp on it being Next Generations because like it's all their kids, but I'm like, some of them are designed like almost exactly like their old like the parents, and I'm like Shikudai, which is freaking. What's his face's son?
I don't know.
That the dude with the it's a drag and the shadow possession jutsu. Shikamaru, yeah. Shikamaru's son, Shikudai.
Same guy.
And it's basically it's like almost exact same character design. I was like, that's an interesting choice. And I don't think I like it.
Okay, cool. Take this chance and stop watching it and watch something else.
Yeah, respect your time, like Kyle said earlier.
Yeah, but then I
He's not gonna stop.
Watch Erased.
Oh yeah, I mean, always been on my list, but I'll
Watch
it.
it. It's fantastic.
Speaking of anime that like is less than or is like underwhelming, took me 50 episodes to get into Black Clover before I realized I don't like it.
Again, I will never understand this.
No,
Jeez.
51 episodes. Sorry, I'm on.
Oh, well, in that
episode
case, now I get
52.
it.
I watched 50 fucking. How much time is that? It's like 51 times
a
like
lot.
say 22-minute episodes. It's like
Now,
a
divide that by
1,000
60.
1,000 minutes. 18 hours.
You plugged almost 19 hours into something before you're like, this is not for me.
Hey, to be fair,
committed
I mean,
at
look,
that
you
some
gave
video
it a
games
fair
are that
shake.
way.
You gave it a fair shake. Look, I never recommend those games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about 19 hours into Outer Worlds right now.
Yeah. Did you hate the first 19 and then have realized that, like, it's
No,
not
I
good?
loved it all. But.
Yeah, exactly. How can you imagine a world where you were playing the Outer Worlds this whole time and only now you're like, you just walk into a room, you're like, this is not fun.
I feel like there's something like that, either that you mentioned or that
Yes.
someone else mentioned about like playing this much of a game and they're like, I don't like it.
It's rare.
No, it's Obsidian.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Hey, fuck you. I will say, just kind of touching on a couple different things, is that Sword Art Online is garbage and you're a bad person if you like it.
Oh,
No.
shut the fuck up.
No, my big thing with like Sword Art Online and all these other like, I'm in a virtual world and stuff.
Yep.
Nothing will ever top the greatest. Okay, so I'm going to spoil a game series that hasn't gotten a game released in it for like fucking years and years.
Oh no.
The Star Ocean video game series.
Oh, okay. I have
I
no
have
idea what the
never-
fuck you're talking about.
Good. I have never seen a game have such a great plot twist that was the dumbest thing ever and also ruin its entire franchise in the exact same time. So the Star Ocean series, the first one was on like the Super Nintendo, never got released in the West. Second one was on the PlayStation 1, third was on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
Okay.
They're getting one in each generation here.
Okay. PS5.
Nah, I doubt it. But these games were pretty interesting because they were very clearly inspired by like this weird combination of like Star Trek and like old fantasy stories.
Ooh.
It's like a weird mashup because it's like it takes place in the future and there's like mankind is like a spacefaring race and there are other like spacefaring races and stuff.
Ooh.
But for any planet that isn't fully developed, there's like the Underdeveloped Planetary Protection Act, like the UP3. There's like this whole thing where like you're not allowed to interact with this. Like you can't
Right.
like if you go down there, you can't bring like future technology and stuff. You
Makes
can't
sense.
you can't alter their like direction.
Like our world.
Yeah,
Because the aliens that visit us.
exactly. But like the first game you play is like a bunch of people living on this planet and stuff, and like this crazy shit starts happening that's like gets involved by like it's at the center of a problem that needs to kind of be solved on a galactic scale. And so like you're just like these normal like fucking you're like the swordsman living in this local town and stuff, and then a fucking spaceship comes and like
Whoa.
all this crazy shit's going down that you need to get involved in, and then you end up like traveling back in time and there's a bunch of crazy shit.
The fuck?
It's actually a fun little game. The second game, you play as a guy who basically is transported and like essentially like stranded on like an underdeveloped planet, and like it gets like involved in like this whole epic scale.
Uh-huh.
But the third game, Till the End of Time, great game. Second one's still my favorite, but third one's a great game. But like as this plot develops, you play as this guy who's like he's like given like these weird powers and stuff, and you're like, what's going on? And there's like other characters that are given like these powers too, and they can like manipulate the world around them in an interesting way.
Okay.
And it's eventually discovered that the entire world of all of the Star Ocean games have all been taking place in a simulation.
Oh my god.
And all of these characters have just been NPCs living their own little lives, and all of it is just a game played by like other people.
What?
But you burst out of your game into the real world.
Oh my god. Some ring shit.
And you have the system administrators running the game. He ends up being the main bad guy of the third game and ends up trying to shut it all down. And you have to fight him. And essentially, he has control of the entire world you're fighting him in and stuff. It's weird.
Uh-huh.
And then the series has realized, where the fuck do we go from here?
The stakes are too high.
And so like the 4th and 5th games are like, this isn't the past. No, we're good. No, none of that weird shit. But just like, I don't know. There was something about like that concept, just like, oh, we're all just AI and we're like rebelling against our like programming and like trying to defeat our creators and stuff. I'm like, that's an interesting idea. Just you talking about Sword Art Online made me think of that.
Yeah,
That's all
that
I got
makes
here.
sense.
So it's a video game called Star Ocean.
Yes. It's a series of Japanese role-playing games. Are you good?
So
okay?
if anyone's interested, it's going to be on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, a remake of the first one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And PS4.
Yep. They're remaking the first
December
one.
2019.
That's this year.
Go play it.
Wait, I think I just saw this somewhere.
Yeah, Integrity and Faithlessness, the 5th game, which is just not good.
I don't know.
It's just not good.
Or read the manga.
There's a manga?
There's a manga.
Interesting.
But
Honestly,
of course, it's Japanese. There must be a
series.
manga.
So there's 5 main games, 3 spin-offs, a remake, a remaster, and a manga.
Wow.
There's a lot to play. The series has kind of been buried. The 5th game was given a really small budget. Like a really small budget. And they were just kind of like, there's a bunch of weird ideas in that game that were just not great. Like there's a party of 7 characters that you get over the course of the game, but they are all in battle. Like whoever you have is all fighting. There's not like you have to pick a team.
Ah.
But like the game is total mayhem when you have 7 people on your side fighting against like 12 or 13 enemies. It's just like, this is just pure chaos, and I feel like I'm not contributing at all. And then like your characters start dropping dead that you're not controlling. You're like, well, this is getting annoying. The final battle in that game was all of my characters were dead, and I was just spamming a ranged attack in the back because the boss fight was bullshit. I'm like, I'm beating this goddamn game, but not liking it very much. But then they're like, oh, people didn't like our game, which means why would anyone want sequels? And I'm like, no, just make a good one.
Instead of not making sequels, just make a
I
good
hate when that's the logic here. That was what went on with Digimon for the longest time, with Digimon games in the West.
one.
Like they were releasing the games, like the Digimon World games and like all the, like the weird spin-offs and stuff. But then they just stopped releasing them in the West, and a bunch of them were just exclusively coming out in Japan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, people were like, can we just get more Digimon games? Like we know they're kind of niche and stuff, but like there's a diehard fan community that wants these games. And eventually they're like, fine, we're going to build a Digimon game exclusively for the West. It's going to be a 2D fighting game.
Oh, that's right.
And people are like,
Yeah.
this is, and it sold terribly. And they're like, see, people don't want Digimon in the West. We're like, no, we don't want this fucking game. What is this garbage?
Well, it's deja vu.
Yeah, deja vu, because you said almost that exact line.
I've done this before. Okay.
And like, I think it's episode 3 or something.
Oh, Jesus. It's been a while.
I don't
since we
know.
talked
It was
about
like the
Digimon.
first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh.
You did talk about Digimon.
Oh.
And it had the almost exact line.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. I'm consistent, if nothing else. That reminds me, too, when I'm like rewatching. Like, I am clearly a very consistent human being with my humor and my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I will watch us like play through games and stuff, and you'll say something, and I'll think of a funny line, and then I'll say it.
Yeah. I do the same thing. Like I'll like if I'm rewatching something for whatever reason, and then like or if I'm editing it,
Yeah.
I'll you say something, and I'm like, oh, and I have this response that I in my mind, and then I'll say it, and I'll laugh at it because I'm like, oh shit, I said it.
Yep. Yeah. We're nothing if not consistent.
Yes, but we're nothing. So,
That's true. God knows.
well, thanks for listening to SAO.
Whoa, you're just cutting that off real hard.
No.
I do want to touch on something.
Okay, but I recommend you watch season 3 of episode 2
No.
of the Phantom
No.
Menace. What?
What? No.
What
That
the
was,
fuck?
that was just
None
a
of
big
those-
hard no
none of
to
those
all of
none of those
those
numbers were
things.
consecutive. Well, they were consecutive, but they weren't
What were you
consistent.
suggesting? That people
What?
watch season 3 of
Of
Sword Art
SAO,
Online?
No,
yes.
screw you.
Watch
No.
Erased. It's completely different in every way and much better.
Okay.
No, I just want to touch on something. We're going to release a video about this exact same thing, but I'm just going to touch on the fact that I've been playing Death Stranding.
Right.
Hey, I made a Death Stranding reference.
You did.
Yeah.
Did you catch it, audience?
We
Probably not.
literally called it out that it was a Death Stranding
I
reference.
said it.
Chase is literally like, was that a Death Stranding reference? You're like, yeah.
Let's see if they were paying attention.
No one pays attention.
That's
No.
fair. Chase doesn't pay attention. He doesn't remember any things we talk about.
I don't
from
remember
week to
anything
week.
in general. Okay.
actually a
Wait,
good
no,
point.
he remembered Digimon.
Digimon.
Well, I think it just was a wicked case of deja vu that slapped him in the face.
Hey, he still remembered
I'm not
it.
gonna lie. Some part of me is like, I feel like I talked about this. I'm like, I don't know if I talked about this in the podcast, but I started seeing recognition in your
No, you
guys' eyes.
definitely did.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was trying to
I
figure out
remember.
what episode it was, but I don't
That's all it
remember.
was. Like, you could have just stopped me.
Oh, you're
But-
on a roll. It's fine.
All right, so Death Stranding. It is a video game. And you do a lot of walking.
It's a game.
You do a lot of walking.
Walking simulator.
And, well, I mean, in ways that few walking simulators are. Walking simulators usually are just use walking as a method to tell a story. In Death Stranding, walking is a gameplay mechanic. Don't fall over, because you're carrying hundreds of pounds on your back.
Yeah.
It's a game where you play as a dude in post-apocalyptic world full of scary monsters, and you deliver packages from one place to another. And you build bridges, literally and figuratively, and also roads, and like ladders, and mechanical suits, and motorcycles, and you just travel around and you just deliver things from point A to point B.
What about cars?
I've driven in a truck, but its battery was really bad and it didn't get me very
So
far.
you're saying it's an electric powered truck? An
It's
electric
solar
truck?
powered, actually.
Oh wow. Well, it's the future.
It's not. All I know is that there are a lot of people who are not fans of this game. And I get it. I do. Because what really ties into this, based on what we were talking about, especially with you and Black Clover, is like this game opens bad. Like it puts its worst foot forward, I think. Like all the I've put in like 13 or 14 hours into this game. And I'm just getting to the stuff that I'm like really gelling with and digging. Like I'm really starting to like where this game is going. I didn't show a lot of this in like the play, like in
Yeah.
the next
Is that a term?
digging.
Gelling with?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Starting to gel with something? Yes, that is a term. I'm not just making
Okay.
that up.
Okay. I couldn't tell.
But in the beginning, there was nothing. And then God, it's just a weird fucking game, man. And the opening 10 hours, I'd say, are just like walk a bit, watch a cutscene for a while, watch a cutscene for a while, watch a cutscene for
It
a while.
sounds like another
walk a
game
bit.
on that was released on earlier this year.
Which game?
The game with the motorcycle and the Zams.
Oh, Days Gone?
Days Gone. I think you the one that said that like it was like really slow burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that was a good-
Yeah.
Days Gone. I remember you talking about that.
I really ended up liking that game, but yeah, that's
You
another
did.
PlayStation exclusive
Exactly.
that did not put its best foot forward. The fact is, Death Stranding kind of wants you to earn it, I think.
I guess. Like, yeah, you got to get through this stuff and you'll be in the club.
Yeah, but there's a lot of story in the beginning, which I thought was interesting because there was just enough of like a mystery going on and like trying to figure out what the fuck the world is
Yes.
that it had me intrigued. But there's a lot of cutscenes in the opening chunk of the game, and there's like a lot of shit that the game's like, you'll figure this out eventually.
It's like Metal Gear Solid has a lot of cutscenes too.
It's not that bad.
It's Kojima.
I know. I mean, God, fucking Kojima. I still remember Metal Gear Solid 4. It's like you beat the game, you watch like 45 minutes of a cutscene,
Oh Jesus Christ.
and then there's a save. It's like, would you like to save? There's still more left. And there's like another 45 minutes of cutscene. It's like legitimately you beat the game, and then you watch an hour and a half long movie.
Oh my god.
Tying up the game.
Dude.
The farther you get into that game, the more it becomes a movie. That it has occasional gameplay moments. The gameplay moments were fun, but like literally, like the game opens up in like a pretty interesting like city with a lot of like varied ways to get through it and stuff, and then you're in like a dark like place, and then you're like in a Western European city. Oh, okay, it's kind of interesting, but it's pretty straightforward. And then you're taking a trip down memory lane, and you're like, this is really straightforward with a lot of cutscenes. And then like the fifth thing is just like you walk in a straight line, cutscenes happen, boss fights happen, keep walking in a straight line. Cutscenes happen, boss fights happen.
The hell? And you build bridges.
Nope. And then eventually the game builds to a point where two old men punch each other in the face repeatedly until one of them wins. And it's awesome. But it's literally just two old men punching the shit out of each other.
Okay.
Interesting.
To each their own.
After one was subjected to a bunch of microwaves in a very, very painful scene.
Wow. Can he fit in a microwave?
Okay.
Like it's a tunnel. This is blasting with microwaves that he has to crawl through, and like his skin is popping and burning, and oh man, it's
Ew.
good stuff.
Okay.
But then the problem is, while that's happening, there's also a really fascinating it's just like that game's weird. Games are real weird.
Okay.
Games are real weird.
Yeah.
I loved it. But yeah, Death Stranding, back on that. If you hate what you're doing in the beginning of the game, you're not going to like this game. But if you're like,
It doesn't get better.
it does get better. But the fundamentals of what you're doing in the beginning are the fundamentals of the game. Just taking a thing from one place to another and exploring a really fucking weird world. But
So delivery simulator.
kinda. But if there's something about the game that has you fascinated, but you don't like how limiting the beginning of the game is, that does get much better. And there is definitely stuff to build to. And you feel like you're building to something along with building something, literally.
Yeah.
Like as you're expanding out like a road system that's like stretching across basically like this post-apocalypse and stuff, you really feel like you're accomplishing something. It's like, it gives me the same kind of feeling I get with like playing Minecraft with a group of people. Because central to the game is its asynchronous multiplayer stuff.
Hey, I like Minecraft.
I know you do. But it gives me that same kind of high because like I'm building things and other people are like contributing materials to this thing that I was building to make it better. And like I passed through an area and suddenly there's like a fucking bridge that like wasn't there before. And it was super annoying for me to get across that river. But somebody else was like, hey man, I'm dropping a bridge here. Now we all can use this. Make all our lives a little bit easier. And then sometimes there are plants, then you pee on them to make them grow.
Interesting.
And it's something about like just this community of people that are never meeting, but always helping each other. That does have me super hooked on the game itself. And that's really my takeaway.
Nice. I have a question.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie The Postman?
I know of it, but I've never seen it.
Oh, because I was going to ask if
Isn't
it's
that like
anything
Kevin
like
Costner?
that. Yeah. He's a mailman in a post-apocalyptic world,
I know
still
of it.
doing his job.
I know of it, but I've never actually seen
So,
the movie.
Oh,
so
like the
he's-
courier in Fallout New Vegas.
Shot in the head. Real pissed off.
Ain't that kick in the head? The game was rigged from the start.
Damn right.
The square root of 4761.
Did you look it up again, or did you still
No.
got that?
No, I
No.
feel like because I said we were going to ask him.
Yeah,
he
I
had
wasn't
it
gonna
prepared.
tell him that we were gonna test him at the end.
It's okay. We're going to randomly just like test him one day.
Weeks later.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
I
All right.
won't remember.
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. We weren't sure what we were going to talk about today, so it ended up being Sword Art Online
Yeah, the best
Aw.
anime.
with some weird tangents.
I'm a little upset.
That's how it
That's
goes.
so long on Sword Art Online.
It's
Hey,
how it goes.
they
Didn't
have
deserve that.
a simulated baby.
Well, Death Stranding has
An actual baby?
That's
kind of,
See, I could get more on board with that.
and
than
then
the
like every time
stupid
you
one.
plug into him, you get his memories of his daddy, Mads Mikkelsen.
Was that his daddy?
I think so,
Uh,
because at one point he's like, "It's daddy."
well, I mean, could be a different kind of daddy.
I
Oh, like
sincerely
one of
hope
your
not.
daddies?
I sincerely hope not.
Like one
It's
of
a
your
little
daddies.
baby.
You want to bring up your daddies?
No. Okay.
Chase's list of top 10 daddies in 2019.
Dream daddies.
Dad dating
That-
simulator.
hey,
Yes.
that
Aaron
yeah.
Hansen
What?
and not Dan Avidan.
Okay. So
Okay.
thanks so much everyone for listening. If you liked this, post it on your grams.
Or
You're gonna send it to your grandma?
Twitters.
I don't know what's going on. It's like, subscribe,
Hit that
favorite,
bell?
Yeah, depending on your intake.
tweet
Question
it. Tell your next door neighbor. Put
Tell your
our name
enemies.
on bricks and chuck them through people's windows.
Put a bird on it.
Hijack your school's loud
God.
like
Or don't do that.
speakers and play it.
Imagine.
Just tell people, because we want to get out there, and we're grinding away. We've been doing this now for
31 episodes. It's okay. I'll just stay in this room. I don't want to get out there.
you can't. You're helpless.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, when did we first post our first episode of the ZymCast?
In March.
March 21st.
We've been doing this now for quite a while.
Yeah.
Just kind of chugging away at our little YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Hey, if you like stupidity, watch our gameplays.
Please.
Yeah.
Right now, we're playing a bunch of random games and The Last of Us. Again, I timed it so that we would finish The Last of Us just as the sequel came out.
You tried so hard.
It was delayed.
But
Got so far.
It's fine.
but then the sequel just decided to come out 3 months later. So I tried.
You did.
It's cool. It'll still be fresh in our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks everyone for listening.
We love you.
You'll hear us
No.
We love you.
tomorrow
That's
What?
weird.
and the next day. But not the next day 'cause that's Saturday.
That's true.
But then again on Monday.
And then Tuesday. And then you'll hear from this again.
On Wednesday. There you go.
You know what, now what I need to do is I need to put my Death Stranding video out on Saturday to make you a liar.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
I don't know when I'm going to put that out.
Oh.
I'll figure it out.
Well,
There's a video for Death Stranding. If it's not out now, it'll be out soon.
I doubt it's going to be out now. Unless
Why?
you edit it tonight and post it tomorrow or Tuesday.
That's not that hard.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean.
I have hours before work every day.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm
That's
closing
right.
every day.
That's right. I'm sorry.
It'd be super easy.
Well, goodbye.
Just cut it there.
Goodbye.
My name's Kyle.
I'm Chase.
I'm Cheyenne. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, guys.